Hey everybody, it's the Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and this episode of Typical Manga Review is going to be about Bleach 648, the Theata Suicide, Scene 2. And we open nowhere near where we left off last time, as we find Ichigo coming across, what was his name, Askin?
Askin, yeah. And I'm not going to bother saying his full name.
Yeah, like it's not really worth the trouble here. Right now, Ichigo's just wondering about what happened to Grimjo. Like, he's just taking a nice little nap, but he won't actually acknowledge if he actually won or lost the fight. Cause like, winning and losing is just so passe. I don't want to care about that.
Well, see, Askin's abilities is more like a delaying tactic. He can't actually win fights. He just can't die, so then he's just like delays them.
Yep. Meanwhile, the Goon Squad, make that Chad, Orihime, and Ganju, is seeing everything suddenly go dark and everyone's getting the chills. And Ichigo recognizes it as Kyoraku.
This is a big tease. Like, you think that Ichigo, after all this time, you think Ichigo's actually about to do something, but then he was like, nope, we're going back.
Nope, he's a jerk.
I'm actually shocked. Like, can you think of any of the manga that's delayed the actions of its main character for this long? Like, I get that you don't want to use him in every single fight, and you gotta make sure you gotta use him in the correct way. But there's a difference between that and not using him at all.
Well, One Piece doesn't have a frequent tendency of keeping Luffy out of the main action until it's time for him to fight, through some excuse or another. Yeah, some are more contrived than others.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like, Luffy's like fought like 6 times in the past, like ever since like Ichigo stopped, like Ichigo's last fight. I think Luffy's like fought at least 6 times already. Right?
Probably close to, or at least he's been in action so many times.
Yeah, Luffy doesn't fight every single fight, but I feel like the way Oda does it is at least acceptable, tolerable. Like you can say, okay, I'll take that. With Bleach, it's just like, dude, it's been like 150 chapters. Get on with it,
Anywho, we're changing scenes. Lil, the wannabe Skaith, is looking at assessing the situation. He sees Kyoraku, who asks what his first impression is of the world at this moment. Wannabe Skaith it's gloom, destitute, full of that's Kyoraku, I'm sorry. It's perhaps a gloom, destitute place full of melancholy and despair. Like, indeed, the scenery has grown a bit murkier. Like, this is your so-called Bankai. Like, of course, he feels that was a master of God, so screw that. And I think he takes out the entire edge of the platform, island, whatever you want to call it, that they're on right now. Mostly on the logic that if he just kills Kyoraku, then whatever the Bankai's going to do won't matter. Problem is, the Bankai, the first level of it, pretty much synchronizes them together. So any injuries that Kyoraku takes, he takes too.
Yeah, but does it even look like Kyoraku took that damage at all? Because I don't see the hole in his body. Huh.
Yep. Doesn't look like it at first glance now you mention it. It's like...
Yeah. But apparently his Bankai is called... I'm not going to even... Can you pronounce it?
Katen Kyokotsu Karamatsu Shinju. I can't... The manga stream was like so squeezed up I can't tell.
Bones of the Heavenly Blossoming Madness, Lover Suicide.
There's like they had like a thing with that on the Viz last week when they translated the name. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Hang on a momento.
So he used his first stand, which
there
is
you go.
like...
I was actually right on the page. It's Katen Kyokotsu Kuromatsu Shinju, and it translates here in parentheses, Flower Heaven, Crazed Bone Spirit, Black Pine, Love, Suicide. Try saying that one time fast. Anyway, like I said, level 1 is the synchronizing. Now for level 2, the Bed of Shame, where apparently the person becomes a hikikomori.
It's kind of weird. It looks like he's has got attacked by like a disease.
Of course, the way Kyoraku describes it is like shamed by wounds inflicted by an opponent, he overcomes that shame. He lies himself down, cowering in his bed, and is stricken with the disease. And then on to level 3, Dangyo's Abyss. Those having resolved themselves cast their bodies into the water, gushing forth until both the Ariatsu completely expire. So it's like a double suicide kind of thing here. So presumably there's some way to survive it, because otherwise Kyoraku could only use it once.
Yeah, it's like, how do you train for this shit? So that's basically the end of the chapter. I feel like I'll take it. I'll take how that something actually happened. I mean, he uses Bankai, and it seems like he's gonna. He has the edge. I mean, I think that this Quincy's run out of ammo unless he has like a second stage or something like that. But see, that's the thing. Like, at this point, it's like you never really know when it's gonna stop. Just because if it doesn't stop, there's no foreshadowing to, like a second stage or something. It just comes out of nowhere, and that's not being unpredictable. That's pulling it out of your ass. Because to be like clever in terms of plot twists and shit, you need foreshadowing, or at least So that's one of the reasons why I don't like about Bleach's power ups is that they literally come out of nowhere. There's no mention of it. There's no single word that like 100 times before they actually said. It's like, oh, I can do this. Like, no. So anyway, to discuss Kyoku's Bankai, basically, so you compare it to Ishikai. Ishikai makes children's games come to life, while in this one, Bankai makes a theater play come to life.
Yeah, I was about to say that's what it seems like now that you mentioned that. There's like you go from little kids games to more like adult performances.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Although, yeah, one would have to argue how does he get out of the theater suicide thing?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that it's who dies first, and then the one who dies first, then the effect goes away. But I don't know. It's kind of it's we don't really know much about that yet. He goes again. I don't. It's probably a reference to some type of Japanese play or theater type, like play a theater style or something. But I don't really know what's gonna happen after this.
Yep. Like I said, there's not really a lot going on this chapter. Like I said, we get our Ichigo tease, like obligatory main character appearance. Nothing new from the mighty Thor, or his line of cannon fodder. No line from Dead Brother Walking's group either. So we just get some Soei Bankai stuff, and then we're good. That's pretty much where we are.
And the comments have devolved into an Orihime versus Rukia shipping, like who ends up with Ichigo, and that's so that that basically shows that no one has anything to talk about anymore.
Nope, not if they did in the first place.
Yeah.
Because like I said, there's really not much going on this week. I mean, not with Bleach, just because. I mean, we got him holed up, we got him bleeding out of everything. Now it's going to turn into some kind of endurance match, and that's where we're going to see probably some more action, but it'll probably end up on yet one more cliffhanger before it finishes itself off. At least that's what it's looking like right now.
Yeah. Well, there's really not much to say, though.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I haven't got much either. Like I said, so this will be kind of a short review this week, I think. Unless you had something else you wanted to bring up otherwise.
No, I think I'm good.
Alright. Well, sorry guys, it's a bit of a short review this week for Bleach 648, the Theata Suicide, episode 2. And yes, I will keep doing that as long as we're on the Theata Suicide. Like I said, hopefully next week will give us a little more meat to go off of here. But, in the meantime, take us away.
Bye!